Now let's look at the fast instantaneous reserve, or FIR, we need to procure for both islands. Again, we want to procure as much of this reserve as possible from the South Island because it's cheaper. The DC risks and the HVDC transfer remain the same. Our FIR risks, adjusted by the FIR NFR, are 100 megawatts for the South Island ACCE and 310 megawatts for the North Island ACCE. NMIR will cover the DC ECE risk by procuring 150 megawatts of FIR from the North Island. This FIR will also cover part of the North Island ACCE risk. This means there is 160 megawatts of FIR AC risk left to cover. To cover the remaining 160 megawatts, we have to remember that the amount we receive is affected by losses. In this case, the forward reserve sharing losses are 5%. And for FIR, we also have to take into account the effectiveness of the megawatts received. In this case, the effectiveness factor is 0.8. Taking this effectiveness factor into account, to meet the FIR requirement of 160 megawatts in the North Island, we need to receive 200 megawatts. Taking losses into account, in order to receive 200 megawatts, we need to send 210 megawatts. There is also shared net free reserve, or shared NFR. In this example, the South Island has 15 megawatts of shared NFR. So with this shared NFR, it means we only have to procure 195 megawatts in the South Island to meet the remaining 160 megawatts required.